Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and this time I'm bringing you a review of a film I rewatch again and enjoy. And it's on a double bill with Drop Zone, and that is the film Hard Rain, which is really the main reason why I got this DVD. I'm not a big fan of Drop Zone. I think I reviewed it one time. I know it's directed by John Badham, same guy who gave us Saturday Night Fever, Short Circuit, War Games, Stakeout, The Hard Way, a lot of good movies, but just not a big fan of Drop Zone. But I do enjoy Hard Rain. And that review is from Mike Sidoni, ABC TV, a wild, chilling, thrilling action ride. It's cool if someone liked it. And there's no features, widescreen version, trailer. That's pretty much it. But anyway, as you can see, it stars Morgan Freeman, Christian Slater. You also have Randy Quaid. You have Minnie Driver. You have Betty White. A little bit about the film. The Hard Rain, which I know some people make fun of the title. I don't mind the title too much. Hard Rain, but it was originally called The Flood. And I have to wonder like which title would have been better. But I guess the reason they decided not to keep the title The Flood was because they didn't want people just to think this was a disaster film, a la Earthquake, the Towering Inferno, that kind of thing. Just you put daylight in there. They want to let people know that there's shooting and bank robbery, or not quite bank robbery, but robbery of some sort. That kind of action. Now, it was directed by a guy named Mikael Salomon, and previously he directed a film with Reese Witherspoon, A Far Off Place. I think it's a Disney movie. Don't really know anything about it other than that. And Hard Rain, it flopped. I'm pretty sure it had a big budget. I know it didn't do well because I believe this was released ultimately in January. Yeah, January 16th of 1998, which January, for a $70 million budget film, $70 million budget film, and it made $19 million in US. $70 million budget, $19 million. That is definitely a gigantic box office flop. Really big flop. Although it says here the production costs were, however, remade by high VHS and DVD sales and some overseas box office. But that's too bad. I mean, anyway, get into it. Mikael Salomon says that film flopped. The guy basically went back to TV, and he's only done TV since. Either whether it be episodes of TV series or TV movies. He did Soul Survivor, which I think is a TV movie with Billy Zane. I think it's based on a Dean Koontz. Yeah, it's based on a Dean Koontz novel with Billy Zane, Soul Survivor. It's a miniseries. Aftershock, Earthquake in New York TV movie, probably for Sci-Fi Channel. Episodes of Band of Brothers. Oh, he did the TV movie Salem's Lot from 2004. I think that's the one with Rutger Hauer and Rob Lowe. Yeah, it is. He directed that one. I didn't know that, huh? Because I know there's some people who are actually fans of that. He's doing I guess, episodes of a TV series called Coma, which I never even heard of. TV movies like Lost Future, Flirting with 40, the 2008 miniseries of the Andromeda Strain, episodes of the Nightmare and Dreamscapes show. I guess he's more well known as a cinematographer because the guy was a DP on Backdraft, Arachnophobia, Far and Away, The Abyss, Always. So he's much more of a cinematographer, but now he just directs TV stuff. This was sort of his big break in directing, and of course it failed big time. It's a 5.6 on IMDb, which, granted, it's not as low as certain films, but it could be higher as well. It was Graham Yost. I was looking for the writer. The writer is Graham Yost. This guy may sound familiar to people because the guy wrote some films that I really enjoy. He wrote Speed. He helped write Speed. Then after that, he did Broken Arrow. And then after that, he did this film, Hard Rain. He decided not to do Speed 2. They used his characters, probably the Sandra Bullock character they're talking about, for Speed 2, but he didn't write Speed 2. So he went from Speed to Broken Arrow, then Broken Arrow to Hard Rain. Then he also wrote Mission to Mars, The Last Castle with Robert Redford, a little bit of From the Earth to the Moon, and I show the Pacific. Oh, Graham Yost, the writer of Speed, Broken Arrow, on this film, helped create my friend Effrey's favorite TV series. I want to make sure. Justified. Graham Yost, the writer of Hard Rain, Broken Arrow, Speed. He didn't do Speed 2. He helped create Justified. He created Justified, which is my friend's favorite show, Effrey, because it stars his favorite actor, Timothy Olyphant. Or Timothy Olyphant. Wow, the same guy wrote Speed, Broken Arrow, and this film, Hard Rain, developed that show. Wow. But anyway, Hard Rain, I know I'm sort of getting loosey-goosey, whatever. But basically what I'm getting is you have some talented people. I mean, Mikael Salomon, granted, he didn't direct much, but he knew how to shoot a film, and the film is well shot. I mean, you have Christian Slater, which I think this was right after Broken Arrow, because Broken Arrow was 96, I believe. And I'm not sure if he did any films, because the film came out in 96, and he was probably working on this film in 97. So, and then it came out January of 98, so he probably went into this after Broken Arrow. He did something called Julian Poe, co-producer, as well as Basil, some film called that, and then he did Heart Rain. Then after that, Christian Slater did Very Bad Things, 3,000 Miles of Graceland, Wind Talkers, Uwe Boll's Alone in the Dark, and so on. Hollow Man 2. I know he's in that Bullet to the Head. But I'm a fan of Christian Slater. And I'm guessing what they were thinking was that, okay, you know, Broken Arrow was actually a decent-sized hit. It made $70 million, so it was a decent-sized hit. So, okay, let's put him in another action film. So, you know, you have Hard Rain. And getting to the plot at hand, finally. A Hard Rain is you have Christian Slater and Ed Asner, actually, as two armored car guys who are transporting this, what is it, $3 million. That's what it is, $3 million. And, of course, it's in the small town, and the town is being heavily flooded. So you have the sheriff, played by Randy Quaid, trying to get people out of the town. And the two armored truck drivers get stopped by Morgan Freeman and his gang of about three people. And basically they're like, we want the money, and Christian Slater's like, well, we don't know who that is. On Morgan Freeman's team, you have a guy named Kenny, which every time I heard his name, I kept thinking of South Park. Plus the character was an idiot. Very much apparent that the guy's an idiot, so it's like I keep wanting to hear, you know, they killed Kenny! Alright, you know, just from South Park. But, long story short, he fucks up. Ed Asner gets shot and thus killed. Christian Slater tries to run away. He takes the money with him, hides it, and then Morgan Freeman and the other three are chasing Christian Slater throughout this flooded town. And in the meantime, you also have Randy Quaid as the sheriff. You have this a girl who stayed behind because she's really protective of this church and is trying to pump it out so that it'll still be standing there. Again, that's played by Minnie Driver, which I think a lot of people remember most from Good Will Hunting. And basically, it's, you know, the chase is on, where Morgan Freeman and his cohorts are chasing after Christian Slater, wanting the money. And without giving too much away, which I will later on, but you know, that way I'll put just a spoiler warning for you folks out there. Hard Rain is a entertaining film. It's a fun film. I call it, it's a fun time waster of a movie. It's definitely not as good as, say, Broken Arrow or other movies with the name Hard, like Hard Target, Hard Boiled, even The Hard Way. But this film didn't deserve the flop that much. Uh, Apparently, I didn't even see this. At one point, John Woo was attached to direct this film, but he left to direct Face Off instead. So I have to wonder if Christian Slater had signed on to work with John Woo again. Because think about it, this is right after Broken Arrow, and Christian Slater, I think, had a fun time with. I know in one interview he said he really wanted to do the film to work with John Woo. Um, so I have to wonder if he signed on to this film thinking John Woo was going to direct it. I always wonder that now. Not always, but I just found out. But I didn't know that John Woo was going to direct this film. That would have been fucking awesome. But, he made Face Off instead, which a lot of people... I like Face Off. I don't hate Face Off. I just don't think it's his best film. I don't think it's his best American film. Or it's not my favorite of his American films. I still like the film. I own the film. Um, I will say I like Hard Rain better, but that's just me. I don't know what it is about Face Off. I like the film, but I don't know what it is. Maybe because it gets talked about all the time. I don't know. But I still would have been cool if they waited and then, have John Woo direct it because, nothing against Mikael Salomon. He did a capable job, but it would be more interesting to see what John Woo would have done with this film. And this film is rated R, by the way, which actually surprised me. I don't know why, but I'm like, oh, wow, this is actually rated R. It's mainly for violence. Although nothing like really gory or anything, but, you still get a little bit of violence, gunshot wounds, stuff like that. And it's a $70 million budget, so that's a big budget. Uh, I mean, they had to basically build a big old. Okay, it says right here a $6 million set at an aircraft hangar in Palmdale, California, in order to basically make it so this town seems like it's completely flooded and it's constantly raining. And that's what I liked about the film. What I liked about the movie is that you really get a sense that this town is flooded. And it makes for a really interesting backdrop for an action movie. It's constantly raining, so that must have been a huge headache on the crew and even the cast, the director. To have it constantly raining all the time, and they really did a solid job with the production value. I mean, the money you can see on screen and the fact that everywhere you look, this town is completely flooded, and it makes for time, fun moments like the fact that you can have a scene where they're chasing Christian Slater on jet skis throughout a school. And then Christian Slater fakes one guy out, and he doesn't realize he's driving into a pair of stairs that's covered, and nice stunt where he flies and hits a case. And Christian Slater steals his jet ski, and you have a fun chasing in a school. Think about it, a jet ski chase scene in a school. And that's what I like about that film. You get that interesting backdrop for an action movie. And I enjoy that. I like that. Um, the cast do a capable job. I mean, more than capable. I mean, I like the cast. Christian Slater, Morgan Freeman, Randy Quaid, Minnie Driver. The only people I didn't like was you had the sheriffs, Randy Quaid's cohorts. Like one is actually Mark Wolston from Aliens. Uh, he's a Drake. Gets the acid burn on him. Drake, no! And Vasquez tries to help him, like Vasquez's buddy. He's there as one of the deputies, and then you have another guy that's more of a wimpy guy who has a crush on Minnie Driver. Didn't really care about them. Also, Morgan Freeman's cohorts, like he has a black guy who at times spouts Bible quotes. You have the wimpy guy Kenny who fucks everything up, and through his stupidity gets killed, electrocuted. Then you have this other guy who I guess he used to be a science teacher. Didn't really care about them. There's also little bits where, you know, they come across this old couple who don't want to leave. One's Betty White. And the other I didn't realize was Richard Dysart. That's the guy in John Carpenter's The Thing. The doc who gets his arm, who puts the paddles and gets his arms bitten off by the Thing. He's the old guy in this film of the old couple, and he was good. Which is basically like he's the quiet, nice husband, and Betty White is bitchy. And you know, I liked Lake Placid, but I didn't care about her character in that film. Same thing with Here. You know, here's the old woman, and she's because she thinks they're looters, Minnie Driver and Christian Slater, and she's gonna shoot him or has him at gunpoint, blah 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 blah. Didn't really need it. Didn't really do anything. But I like seeing Richard Dysart, and he has a nice, fun moment where he finally shuts her up with saying, "I'm gonna roll over there. I'm gonna leave you there to shoot you or me. You want us to get out of here? Then shut the fuck up." I like that. Richard Dysart got a nice moment. It was nice seeing Richard Dysart in another film. I know he's done other films, but I'm like, oh yeah, Richard Dysart from John Carpenter's The Thing. Got his arms bitten off. That's cool. But I didn't like those side characters. I didn't really give a shits about them. But I did like the main players: Christian Slater, Morgan Freeman, Randy Quaid, Minnie Driver. They were fine. They were more than fine. And you did a lot of practical stuff, which is like when you see movies nowadays, especially the big budget movies, and it's usually a lot of CGI worlds, a whole thing done on green screen, blue screen, red screen, yellow screen, piss screen, vomit screen. It's refreshing to go back and watch a film which, granted, it flopped, and it's sad that it flopped. Because if films like this don't flop, then they're like, oh, we'll make more like it. And I'm not saying it's an Academy Award winner. I'm not saying, oh my god, it's one of the best unsung action films of the 90s. You know, it has its problems, but it's a fun time. It's a fun time. And uh, get into spoiler warnings, folks. So people demand, here's spoiler warnings. Some of the problems I had with the film, I mean, first off, a little bit more of the good stuff. I like the scene where he gets knocked out and he's put in jail, but then the dam breaks and he's in jail and he can't get out and he sees a pair of keys, and of course you think, oh, he's gonna get it, and it's the, but when he finally gets the keys, it's actually the car keys. He's like, oh great, I could drive out of here. And I like the moment where, you know, he has to try to get out. He's trapped in the jail cell, I should say a jail cell, as the water is rising up, and he has to try to escape this thing, and get his flashlight and try to keep breathing. Um, Nice little claustrophobic type of moment, especially when he's trying and the light just gets burned out. And I like that little scene. Fun action sequences where um, you get to the third act and you find out that Morgan Freeman wants Christian Slater. He's gotten Christian Slater, but the money's not there. And you come to find out that the sheriff, Randy Quaid, who throughout the whole film has been nice and kind and worried, and even there's a moment where later on when Christian Slater is trapped, and you know Randy Quaid's like way over here, like other side of town or whatever, and he talks to Mark Rolston. It's like, you locked him in, didn't you? Like he has the fact that he brings that up and he has like a disgusted look on his face. It seems like he's a caring guy, or the fact that you get a little bit of backstory, a teeny bit where he was a sheriff, but he wasn't elected again. And I'm thinking, well, then why the fuck is he staying to take care of the town and make sure people get out safe? And he always seems very kind. And granted, unless you probably would know he's the bad guy because they give it away in the trailer. I'm not sure on all the trailers, but at least one of the trailers they give away that he's the bad guy because he blatantly says we gotta kill them all, and one guy says you're the sheriff, and he goes, I'm the what? Which that little bit's cut out of the film, which is I like that reaction. I'm the what? But it's like you do tell that was a surprise, and they blow it out in the trailer. I hate when they do that. Kind of stupid marketing, in my opinion. But his shift to bad guy just doesn't really make sense. I mean, they say, well, I've been eating shit for 20 years and I want the money. But the fact is like, it's such a 180. Like, he's made out to be the kindest guy, and then all of a sudden it's like a 180 shift, and it's like, okay, I know it's meant to be a twist, but you don't quite buy it. You're like, huh, really? Like, it just, I mean, Grant, I don't, sorry, I didn't buy Randy Quaid as a bad guy. It's not that. It's just the shift in his character from good to bad just feels very abrupt, like too abrupt, and you're like, it's not like, oh shit. It's more like, huh? Like a big old question mark above your head, like, huh? Really? He's the bad guy now? Oh, okay. And now Morgan Freeman has to join forces with Christian Slater, and I like that little bit where now Christian Slater and Morgan Freeman have to work together, and they trap themselves inside a church, and they put the bad guys, Randy Quaid, and them put the bolt through the church, and you have a little bit of shootouts and stuff like that. Um, and the bit where Morgan Freeman, he gets shot, but he goes after to save Christian Slater and Minnie Driver, and the motor's going out, and he puts the boat up to the roof of the house, and the motor flies off and hits Randy Quaid in the face. Um, I mean, okay, I know it's going on, it's a long review, but it always tends to be like that. For the film itself, are there problems? Yeah, I mean, some of the side characters you don't care about, like the guy who played Kenny, or the other cohorts of Morgan Freeman's crew, the sheriff, his sort of deputies. You don't care about them. Actor, don't care about them either way. Uh, some of the abrupt turns for the characters, it's like Christian Slater letting Morgan Freeman go at the end. It's like, I understand he's helping him, but he also keeps saying, I only, you know, I hate to, he doesn't say this, but he basically says, I hate to break to you, but I came back for the money. Or he's like, you never listened, do you? I came back for the money. And Christian's like, yeah, sure. And it's like, I buy that he came back for the money, Morgan Freeman. I mean, I still like Morgan Freeman's character. I think he does a good job, but maybe they could clarify a little bit more that even through dialogue or whatever, that Morgan Freeman was even more of a decent guy, maybe. I don't know how to say it. But I had a bigger problem with Randy Quaid's like sudden shift. And it's definitely not like wall-to-wall action. I mean, the film's 90-some minutes, so it's not that long of a movie. But there are certain moments where it kind of like little bits of humor that don't work. Like when Christian Slater and Minnie Driver in the car. And you always wonder, well, I kept wondering throughout this film, how come no one's getting hypothermia? I mean, they're in the water all the time and it's constantly raining. They're always you might as well call it the river now. But no one ever worries about getting hypothermia or shaking, or I guess it's a warm rainstorm. Because you see, I don't ever see anyone like shaking like it's cold. you know, and no worry of hypothermia, but what do I know? So you have like little bits of that, and they're. But overall, I really enjoy it. It's decent pace. I like the main actors. Could have been some better jokes, humor, whatever. Definitely not as good as like Broken Arrow and such. But some really good action scenes um, inside the church, or driving the jet skis through the school. The production value itself is really nice to look at. This backdrop of this flood going on with all this action really shows the money on the screen, and it's really nice backdrop for this kind of action movie. That really sucked me into it. And they wouldn't do that nowadays. If they did, it'd be like blue screen or green screen, whatever the hell they want to use. Probably green screen, but that's too bad. But it was nice seeing a lot of practical stuff, explosions, things like that. The score by Christopher Young is not the greatest. I mean, it's kind of passable. I do like the song they use at the end, which I might forgot all about. And it's a song called by the band Jars of Clay. I don't even know if anyone remembers Jars of Clay. And it's oh God, what was the name of the song? I had it right here. Flood. Oh, it's named Flood. Um, lift me up when I'm falling, yeah, lift me up. Um, but yeah, it's definitely a. I do enjoy the song. Because it's one of those things I'm listening. Oh my god, I forgot all about this. It's definitely a '90s song. Can't remember the lyrics per se. So I'm sure if I put the song, WMG would find some way to be like. Ugh. But if I can't swim after 40 days and my mind is crushed by the thrashing waves, lift me up so high that I cannot fall. Lift me up when I'm falling, yeah, lift me up. You know. But if I can swim. Anyway, you get the gist of it. Otherwise, just type in flood jars of clay. I'm sure if I did it, fucking again, WMG would find some way to fuck me over. They don't own it. Well, they'll find some way. But I did really enjoy that song. I like the backdrop of the flood during this action scene. Um, I like the main cast: Morgan Freeman, Christian Slater, Randy Quaid. And again, it's not the greatest. I mean, I've seen better action movies like Broken Arrow, Speed are definitely better. More tightly paced. The action scenes have a lot more gusto to them, or a lot more. You can tell this. You know, it's not wall-to-wall action in this flick, uh, but it's still a fun time waster. I mean, just for the production values alone of how they made this town flooded. I'm sure there was an HBO special that they couldn't even put that on the DVD, which sucks. I like to hear um, the making of this film. Like, why did they put it in January? Like, this is a film that should have been in the summer. That's the thing. This film, I don't know what they were thinking by putting a $70 million budget in a film starring Christian Slater and Morgan Freeman. It's not really two guys who did huge $100 million box office hits because it's those guys in it. I really don't get it. So, putting in January was a really stupid decision. Again, I know some films like Cloverfield and film Devil's Inside become hits, but putting in January was a pretty dumb move, Paramount. That's who did Paramount Pictures. But either way, I know it's a long review, but hell, I'm probably the only guy here who talks about this film. Even if it was definitely a positive manner. Hard rain, so why not? So, other than certain parts of the character development, you like question the fact is like, well, how come they're not getting hypothermia? No one even seems like they're cold at times. They're calmly sitting in the car, as it's drifting out, and like a handful of times you get a hint of that. But overall, fun action time waster, practical stuff, wonderful practical set. How they made this town flooded, it looked great. Nice backdrop for action scenes, practical. Not tons of explosions, but practical stuff. And again, I like Christian Slater. I like Morgan Freeman. Randy Quaid does a fine job. It's just you don't buy his character shift. Minnie Driver does fine. I mean, she's here or there. Didn't hate her, didn't love it, but she was fine. Christopher Young, passable score, but still a fun time waster. And again, it's not the best action film ever. Broken Arrow is definitely a lot better. Hard Target, Speed. I mean, there's a lot of films you find much better, but still an entertaining film. Hard Rain. You could probably find this brand new for $5 at Walmart. This is where I got it for $5 at Walmart. I'm sure you can find it there, online for even cheaper. So Hard Rain is worth a watch. I like the film. But either way, thanks for watching and take care. Later.